Hello everyone, welcome back to Streed's Guide to Fraggle Rock. Today I'm reviewing Season 3, Episode 3, The Grapes of Generosity. This episode starts out with Doc excited that he's repaired his porch chair to spy on Schimmelfinning for some reason. Sprocket takes the chair and Doc's pissed, proclaiming that it's his, demanding Sprocket move. Now, I know this episode's about sharing, but Doc does have a point here. This is his chair after all, and Sprocket didn't even ask to sleep in it. Meanwhile on the rock, Gobo finds the legendary Grapes of Generosity, expositing that they appear to those who really need them. He eats one and sings a virtue-signaling song about how selfless he is.
Well, if I had a kangaroo, you know what I would choose to do for you. I give it all to you. Because grapes of generosity are overflowing down into my shoe. Hi, little cave pals. And if I had a blue kazoo, you know what I would choose to do for you. Choose to do. I give it all to you. All to you. Because grapes of generosity are overflowing down into my shoe.
Gobo returns to his cave, and the selfish influence of the grapes slowly begin to take hold as Moki arrives looking for Red, whilst Gobo hides the grapes. He eats a few more until Wembley pops in, asking if Gobo would like to go to the messing around cave with him. He declines and shoos him away, but once again, Moki returns, asking if he's seen Red. She leaves, and Red suddenly appears, asking if she could borrow Gobo's rock climbing trophy with the grapes hidden inside.
No.
What do you mean, no?
I mean, not yes. Negative. You cannot borrow my rock climbing trophy.
Gobo, you're the most selfish Fraggle I know.
I don't care.
Well then, if I can't borrow your rock climbing trophy, I'll win it back.
Gobo feels guilty for his behavior, but unfortunately succumbs to the grapes' temptations, vowing to keep them to himself. Moki comes back again and asks where Red is for the third time. Good God. Since apparently she's blowing the starting whistle at the Jock and Jockess's picnic. Gobo asks Moki about the legend of the grapes, and she tells him that should a Fraggle allow his selfishness to overcome him, he'll become weightless.
Weightless? Oh, now that is totally, absolutely ridiculous. Whoa! Oh, but maybe not. Whoa!
We cut to a postcard, and Traveling Matt finds himself at a store. He sees some green grapes, mistaking them for the Grapes of Generosity, and loads his cart with heaps of food, walking out until he's caught by the manager. I wonder if he got arrested for this. Gobo is feeling sorry for himself until he hears large Marvin and Rumple approaching.
Hello? Anybody home?
Hey, all you jocks and jockesses?
Oh, he's not here. Maybe he's already at the picnic.
Oh, good. Let's go to the picnic and eat. See.
Right.
Oh, this is so humiliating. I've just gotta get me some weight.
Wembley returns, and Gobo somehow finds a boulder to keep him down. Wembley's puzzled by this, and Gobo feigns illness, asking for his guitar pick to distract him. Apparently, he actually dropped it out there, and Gobo asks for a few layers of blankets. Marvin and Rumple appear again, telling Gobo that Red's challenged him to a rock climbing contest for the trophy. He asks for his boulder, and we cut to the Great Hall, where Red announces that Gobo isn't coming. Meanwhile, Gobo is struggling to get there. Back in the workshop, Sprocket is howling at Doc while he explains again that it's his chair. Meanwhile, Wembley rushes in looking for Gobo, and he tells him the truth. Wembley thinks this is hilarious, and they sing an adorable song about their friendship.
Well, a friend never bends or pretends when a friend is in need. So depend on a friend who's a friend to his friend indeed. Yeah! No, a friend never bends or pretends when his friend is in need. So depend on a friend who's a friend to his friend indeed. Well, sometimes you'll be down and need some boosting. Whoa! Sometimes you'll be zooming way too high. Ow! I'll be there to raise you or to roost you. I'll be here to look you in the eye.
Rumple returns and tells Gobo he told Red that she doesn't deserve the rock climbing trophy. So Red being Red, she climbed at the top of the Great Hall and now she's stuck. So Gobo heads off to help her. We return to the Great Hall and Gobo tells her the truth that he ate the grapes of generosity without sharing them, causing him to be weightless. He floats up to her and apologizes for being selfish, giving her his rock climbing trophy. And in doing this, he suddenly gets his weight back. Sometime later, Gobo tells everyone the whole story, and the grapes are nearly gone, with there being only one left. But no one wants to eat it since they've all become more generous. We return to the workshop, and Doc seems to have yielded to Sprocket's demands. This has always been an episode I've enjoyed, but whenever you'd ask me why I like it specifically, I'd pause and wonder the same. Upon rewatch, this is a pretty flawed one for sure. The lesson's definitely substantial, it's an entry about sharing and the consequences of selfish behavior, and the concept is delightfully Fragglish with great symbolism, but its execution leaves a lot to be desired. Only when I started rewatching this episode and writing my review, I realized how repetitive it is. Here's a fun game. Drink every time someone either leaves or enters Gobo's room. I guarantee you'll be knackered. I also realized via Danielle Reviews how much Gobo talks to himself in this episode, and the writing here is very weak because of that. Gobo just exposits information out of nowhere multiple times throughout in a very blunt and lazily written way. It could have worked had it been inferred without as much dialogue. I also felt that the Doc subplot contradicted this episode in a minor way. Sure, it's about Doc learning to share his chair, but what makes the chair different from the grapes is that Gobo didn't own the grapes. He didn't buy them. Doc bought this chair, and Sprocket already has a little bed. He also gets his way by howling, which isn't a great lesson to teach your kids at all. Would have made more sense if Doc didn't want to share something they both owned and had to learn from his mistake. There's only one song here, A Friend is a Friend, and while it may not reach the same heights as Friends Till the End, it's still undeniably the high point of a rather middling episode. Some may point out that Gobo's a bit of a prick, but I have a feeling those grapes intentionally cause selfishness as a temptation, and you're meant to fight off that temptation by sharing with your friends. My main evidence for this being that it seems like Gobo's actions are heavily influenced by the power of the grapes, which is a fascinating concept. A while ago, my boyfriend comically theorized that the grapes were a metaphor for wine, and how too much could make you drunk, a la weightless. It's definitely a possibility. Grapes are integral to the creation of wine after all, and the writers are intelligent enough to symbolically depict this, but I guess we'll never know. Overall, I don't mind this episode. It has a few flaws, and its execution is rather pedestrian, but it's okay. I like it for what it is. I'm gonna give this one an average mushroom. Well guys, that was the review, and I will see you all next time.